Okay, I think we're live. This is my first time really going live, so I'm trying this out to see how it works. Let's see here. Hopefully everyone hears me. Let me see if I can find my Bluetooth. Where did I put it? You know what? We'll just use the phone on here. We won't. Right, give me 1 second. I just gotta put something up. Okay. Okay. So I don't think anybody's here, which is okay. That's quite normal because this is not planned. Let me see if I can wipe the lens since there's nobody here. Maybe, just maybe. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can wipe that. Maybe it'll clear up the screen, get it focused a little bit more. All right, I'll show you what I've been doing so far. These are, if I really hope this is working, so I don't even know. Let me just stop it. Oh, I got somebody in here. I'll leave it. All right, so welcome whoever that is. I don't know how in the world to see who's in here or not in here. So bear with me. All right, I'll talk about exactly what I found so far. So I hooked up a MIDI right into here using this, which is really good for a couple reasons. One, I can play chords, which I like to do. I'm having trouble. I forgot that first of all, it's a AAA battery, so I had to order some. So it'll probably be tomorrow before I have those, because I don't have any in the house to show you that. However, the output's coming out of this speaker, and I did order a speaker finally. I just went ahead and got a little small one, so that way I don't have to deal with the using those speakers over there. It's just not as clear. I know. So one of the things that's concerning to me, or that I found so far, is this speaker doesn't seem to be working, and I think it's because I'm plugged in with the USB via the USB. So for some reason, it must cut the sound. So you can hear that. That's coming through the headphones. But I can't get anything come through here. Even if I unplug the headphones, you would think like, all right, there's no headphones plugged in. When I play something, it would just come out. It would project out of the speaker. So I'm not sure if there's a setting. I tried to I went through the manual, which I'm still going through, trying to figure this out. And I'll be honest, I cannot figure out how to get the speakers to work. If somebody pops in the chat and they know, I can't even see it. So let's see. Maybe I can press this button. Enable flash. Nope. All right. So I can't find that out. That's one of the things I'm concerned with. Why, if I plug in a USB-C to charge it or to power it, you can't hear anything coming out of the speaker. Literally nothing. And you would say it's the volume, but I've turned the volume up and down. There's literally no sound. So, oops. I thought that was a setting. So some of the things, I'll just show you some of the things that is cool. All right, so if you have an OP1, you probably know how we use shift and then the back arrows to go back and forth. That's pretty much the same thing here. You can, except for you don't have to use them to go back and forth by ones like that. You can see where I'm moving on notes. You can do it that way. But if you want to go back to the beginning of the track, you need to hit shift in here. So that might be familiar with, you might be familiar with that if you use the OP1. The fader, my fader works. Now I actually put this on and you'll see the fader right here. You can tell when the fader is working or not, right? And it actually works. I put that on, but I'll tell you what, if you do it and you decide to do it for yours, make sure you do it slow. Like slowly press it down, check the fader as you're going down, make sure you don't press too hard. You have to be really careful. But I wanted to go ahead and put it on because I'm not going to go buy another knob when I could just use the one I have. Just had to figure out if it would work. So it does work. Make sure your fader works before you put it on. So that way, if you buy one and you have to return it, you could be like, look, it just doesn't work out the box. Okay. And you didn't break it by sticking it on. These went on pretty easy. It's your BPM, your metronome, but these act as an XY, so you do other stuff with them. So it gets real high tech. It's a lot of button mashing. If you don't like button mashing, stay away from this. It is button mashing, okay? Um, because there's everything has a shift to it. Some stuff is pretty easy. Like when you hit record, you can hit play, and obviously it'll count you in. But what's cool too is that you can hit record, and if you have a keyboard or a MIDI controller hooked to it, like I do, and you can see how the MIDI is showing there. So to like, let's say you want to use a sound in here, you can pick the sound you want, and then that sound is the one that is playing, right? Um, but what's cool about it is it's gonna. Let me take that back. It plays all the sounds from here, right, all the way, all 12 in an octave, right? But if you want one sound to be the trigger sound, hold it and then hit the keys, and you'll see the keys light up. And now you can play it across the MIDI, which I know you can't hear it. This will be fixed tomorrow. I'll have all this stuff fixed. I'll figure out too, once I put the batteries in, if the batteries is the reason why it doesn't play. That's confusing me, but because it seems like the speakers still work. Now the mic does work. I checked the mic. I did a little stupid voice recording. I'm not gonna do this on camera. My mic worked fine. I recorded in. But one of the confusing things is it takes a spot in the once you record in, right? And then you can copy that, you can chop that and across the keys, which is fine. Hit this button, hit sample, right? And that chops. And then you have to hold down. I don't like this part. I wish you could just touch as the beat goes, right? But you have to hold it down for the timing that you want it to be on. I think that's ridiculous. It takes too much. Um, it takes too much, and you lose your what is the word I'm looking for? You lose the timing sometimes doing that. So I think that's something they could work on. Um, for those that love note repeat and swing, it does work. Let me see if I can play this track. I did a little bit of it here. Wait, now the speaker's working. Weird. It's a terrible speaker. It's popping and crackling. You see how I did the little stutters and stuff like that? So check this out. Hold on. Let me go back here. This is it, right? So if you hold it, if you have a MIDI controller hooked to it and you find it right there, you can put it in keys. Then you have different velocities, or you have on the keyboard, you got all the velocities, right, that you can use within that spot. I don't know how far across, but I've so far 49. This is 49 keys, so I've been able to play it from all the way over here to all the way over here, so it works. Okay, so you can do that. Let me turn off the keys. But here's what I found that's cool too, that I was wondering, and nobody did this, was if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing the this right here. It's not great because you can't latch it and then do it. Like if you could hit the time and latch it some kind of way and then move it, you would only have to use two fingers. But right now I have to hold timing, hold this button, and then turn it. It's doable. It's just kind of a pain. So your timing's got to be kind of on point with that, or you'll mess up. Let me check. Anybody saying anything? Let's see. Lift the noise. What's up, man? I thought you liked the 404. You can audio and USB. You're right. I do like the 404 with the audio over USB. I think that is better. That's another thing. Yeah, you can't do the audio over USB, but that doesn't mean that it won't change that. Um, yeah, D0, I went live just to. I think it's easier to show some of this stuff when you're live. Like trying to do a video, I have to record it. I have to make sure I don't miss anything. Sometimes you just want to go live. It's cool. I think it's fun to try this out too. This is my first time really doing it live to where I'm hoping that I can do it a little bit more on products or whatever I'm showing on the video. You definitely have to read the manual. I think the manual is important. There's 4 ways to do a few different things or whatever, and some of them are easier. There's button combinations. So yes, this is it reminds me of the 404 in that sense. Is there's a ton of combinations that you got to learn to even do some certain things. But this still is pretty simple. So let me show you. You just hit here, go back right to the beginning. So this is just a simple little beat, nothing major. I'm glad the speaker's actually working because that was getting concerning. The buttons are very clicky clacky. I'm be honest. It's not. If you're just sitting somewhere and you're having fun, this is probably cool, but it's not the same as having pads. It just feels totally different. And so the way I built this in my mind to understand it is, section A could be, let's say, let's say this is your drums. B is like your bass. So your bass line. So you might pick a bass line or import a bass line, however you do it. Hit the keys on that. And then play it across. Unlike the SP404, you actually can play the stuff across the keys, which is really cool. I think the SP404 only gives you 2 octaves. So far, I've noticed 4 octaves work. So that's kind of nice to have. One of the things, the fader, if you're wondering about the fader, because I think you can assign the fader to whatever, but let's say you have a song going, you got parts, different parts. You can fade it out like that. Then bring it back. So it's very performance driven. That's how I see it. This confuses me why it won't just. Sometimes it. Okay. It's weird. Here's something that I do like a lot that they do. Or that it does, I should say, not. Oh, by the way, free is on. So if you want to shift timing, you can see the TC comes on. And you can turn, let's see, hold on. There you go, timing. Then you can leave quantize on if you want, or you can go over and press free. So these arrows do a lot of the changing of stuff when you want to. I have it on set on free now. I did this recording in without it, but you can go back, I think, and adjust notes or whatever you want to do on the playing portion of it. Okay, back to what I was really going to say because I keep getting sidetracked. What was the other thing? The effects. So you can hold multiple. So that's something that is hard to do on the SP404, was getting multiple effects to go at the same time. Now you can't record them to like resample them, which is kind of the win for the SP404. But who knows? They may add it in. But yeah, being able to. And the effects are kind of okay. Some of them sound better than the others. Reminds me of the Pocket Operator. They sound a little bit better than some of the Pocket Operator stuff. So that's kind of cool. So again, going back to what I was saying, these are like drums, bass, let's say chords, or you could say keys, however you want to do it. And then maybe your samples go on D. So you could have each part and then you can play it all at the same time. Because when the fader's up, as far as I know, I don't fully understand that, but you are playing. You see how A and C are blinking? That's because I'm playing stuff from both of those. Why did it just stop? Weird stuff like that keep happening. All right, go back to the main menu. Maybe I accidentally recorded the fader or something. I don't know. So you can put your samples on D if you wanted to, like, and then have something here. So here's something that's pretty neat. If you hit sound, it'll tell you that's 305. That's the number on the sound. As long as I'm on that, I can move the sounds around to wherever I want. You can cycle through the sounds, right? So 305, and then you can click this one and you can start right where you left off and put sounds in. I think if you shift here, it skips by tens. Yep. If you want to put a sound in. Okay, so the sounds internally, the ones that's in there sound corny. I ain't gonna lie, they all right. They're not really that good, and it sounds better coming through the output. Obviously, this speaker is not gonna do it justice. Let's see what questions you have. Nice. Second, I'm used to that with the OT. Yeah, you probably are D0 with the OT for sure. If y'all got questions, please ask in there, and I'll try whatever you want me to try just to try to answer your questions. I'm still learning it too, so if you ask me something way out of pocket, like I can't figure out, oh, tempo, simple, you just hit tempo, hold it down, and then press in whatever tempo you want. Pretty simple. So if I want to change that tempo, I can do 86. Okay, so it's pretty simple like that. It's a calculator in that essence, right? You're sitting there punching in numbers. It's funny. Let me see if it does a point something. So 76.5? No. That's weird. So I don't know what the point on there is for. I don't get that point, right? But because it looks like you can't. Maybe they'll fix that, but you can't go point something, right? Not yet. So maybe that's there. I wanted to show y'all something else. By the way, this was for the SP404. It's just the MIDI to, the 5-pin or 5-DIN or whatever you want to call it, MIDI. But if you look on the side here, nobody ever shows this. Check this out. Let me make sure y'all can see this. There's these holes right here. So the batteries go underneath here. You just pull it up and then put them under. You see these holes right here? And then they have two down here. I wonder if they're going to add something later to this that you can maybe put a battery pack in there. I don't know. I'm just saying it looks weird. There's these holes literally out here. They're here for a reason. And if you remember on the OPZ, they had holes too on the top of it where you could actually like put a cartridge thing in there. And so the other side has them too. I'm not sure what they're for, or if they're just for the allow the breathing of maybe the machine. I don't know what they're for, to be honest with you. What'd you say, D0? Any documentation on the MIDI implementation? I'm reading sideways, so give me a second. Oh, that's immersive. Documentation mean like in the manual? Is that what you're asking? Is there any documentation in the manual? If you're asking that, there is. I mean, but it's not. They give you a little book. I think I showed it. If you watch the unboxing video, they give you a little book. They give you a little, here, I'll show you what it looks like. So you see that? There's a little book there. Honestly, that little book I didn't even open it because it's not really going to help you much. Now, this can give you a little idea of some simple stuff, like how to sample, using the inputs, the signal. Can you see that? Hold it still for you guys. What are you saying, immersive? I want to control it via me. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I showed you. Check this out. Control it via MIDI, right? That's what this is. So you see the MIDI? Can you see that? I have it plugged in the charger because I don't have the batteries yet. But if you can look right there, I have it plugged in MIDI. So there's a MIDI in, and then there's the MIDI into the keyboard. So if you want to control it, again, everything's sitting on an octave, right? So here's an octave. Can you see the keyboard over here? Here's the octave over here. So if I go here to this one, to this bank, so it's just taking the same stuff that's already there and just bringing it down an octave so you can play it at different octaves. You get that? So here's the main octave. It's the same thing over and over, just an octave. Now, if you want to play, let's go here. Hear that sound? You can press the keys button and you can take your one shots. It's hard to hear because this little speaker's not that good. But you can play it on the keyboard and you get the velocity sensitivity on the keyboard. You can turn that on in here too and use it here. But I think it's kind of corny. It doesn't even work that well to me as far as the velocity in here. If you use the OP1 field, since they've added it, you kind of know what I mean. It's the same thing. It's the same feel. It's a clicky button trying to do it. But if you hook up a keyboard, like let's say you have a little 25 key keyboard that you want to use, that's your best bet. Slider, yeah, sliders and fade and effects. Oh, you want to control the sliders and effects like using on the keyboard here, like this one has sliders, and use that for this. Uh, I don't know about that yet. I would have to look it up. There is in the MIDI information. Let me pull up the MIDI information for you and see if I can read it. MIDI is a protocol that allows you MIDI channel. So there's channels for the MIDI. You can change the channel. Pad sends allow you to connect a series of external musical devices and send the note data to them individually from different pads. So it may be something you can do on different MIDI channels. You have to you'll have to read. We'll have to read more in that. There's a small section in the book that talks about MIDI, but when I say it's small, it's only 3 pictures and it's really small. They don't give a lot of details on it. One of the MIDI root note that allows you to set the MIDI root note of your sample and ensure that the root note of the device matches the root note on the sample. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a MIDI chart that allows you to configure it. Hold on, let me find the MIDI chart, see if that'll help me. I'm trying to answer your question because it is a good question. Let's see. Functions, delays, effects, how to enable. So definitely it syncs up with the pocket operator and other stuff. So let's see. MIDI reference. So it has it does have a clock in there that can be sent. It can receive. You can do starts. It looks like the start, stop, continue, position, note, and CCs all work, sent and receive. The pitch bend only receives, and the program change and the polyphonic key pressure and the channel pressure only receive. So that portion of it, you can only receive it into this, but everything else from the CCs to the notes, position, continue, stop, start, and the clock all can be sent or receive, right? So in theory, to me, you should be able to press play here and this works, but it doesn't. I thought like maybe it would sync up here, but it doesn't. So that unfortunately that doesn't work. So remember, this is the I don't know why it plays the note when you go back. It's weird. Remember, this is just the first variation of it. Yeah, what are the CCs? It doesn't say what the CCs are. It just says CC, and it has a check mark that it can be sent and received. Unfortunately, and that's what I'm reading from directly from their website on the manual. So it's not saying that. Let me see if there's something else in here that they didn't. Okay, here we go. What is this? Okay, under system, navigate, enter. Nope, that's just system codes. MIDI clock on, off, default, receive, send. Honestly, I think everything you're asking with regards to the mid, what are the CCs and the MIDI and all that stuff, is probably something that you're gonna have to play with a little bit. But at the same time, I don't think they're gonna make this thing for the cost that it is do a lot more than things like a MPC, or it's not on that level. If I'm being blatantly honest, it's a simple upgrade from. It's a better upgrade, but it's a simple upgrade from what the pocket operators were. So think about what the pocket operators could do. Imagine they give you a little bit better. They, five times it to make it better for you. That's what you're getting. It's the fact that they put note repeat on here threw me off. I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, so it's not so as far as the CCs, what you can actually do with them, I have no clue. I would suggest read the manual and then it might give you a little more insight. I just read it to you basically what it says, but for me it's not answering what I thought um that you want to hear because it's really basic. So unfortunately, sorry about that one. The MIDI stuff is not 100% there. Anybody else got questions? I'll try to answer what I know, and what if I don't know it, I'll look it up real quick because I have it in front of me, the manual. Um, I'll tell you that it is super simple to record into, but I feel like if you're looking for something really more professional sounding and all that, you're not gonna get it from this thing. It's just not gonna happen. It's not. The sound is like real. It's real basic. And I think I've heard like maybe two songs on it from people that have done stuff so far that I like that was cool. They were all sample based and they were all hip hop. It wasn't anything like, you know, it was just all sample based stuff. They didn't play the keys on it or anything like that. I was gonna try to put some sounds into it, but these are the generic ones. Sound terrible. Especially this little speaker. It might sound better if I plugged in headphones, but anyway, you can do some really basic stuff with it. I don't think if you're getting your hopes up to for it to be some superstar sampler, it's just not that. Okay, and I'm being blatantly honest about it. It's really fun, but it's not. It's not. What is it? 404 has CC in the manual, and it makes very way less menu diving. Yeah, you're right. There's some menu diving in this, but it's not a lot because for what most people are going to use this for, is not going to be a lot of menu diving. Um, if you start getting intricate with stuff, you're going to have to go to Roland SP404. You're going to have to go with a MPC, something that has more high tech to it. Remember, this is $300. It's you know teenage engineer for $300 for them. They're not going to give you some really high tech piece of equipment. Do you hook it up to your monitors? Okay, so I don't have monitors anymore. But I just, like I was saying earlier, I bought a little speaker that will be cool for the videos. I'm gonna use it to just plug it in for videos. Most of the time when I'm doing music, I'm using these headphones right here, right? The Audio Technica MT50s. And I'm just plugging literally directly into whatever it is. Even the laptop, when I'm doing music on the laptop now, I plug into that. If I'm not using that, then I'm using, you guys have seen this before. Let me unplug it. Then I'm using this, which is the mixer face, right? And the mixer face is battery powered. It's got your two combo jacks. I got mine used. This is the older version, which I don't care because the newer version has, USB-C, whatever. And I don't really need it that much. I'll use it for recording guitar into the computer. That's pretty much it. What else did you say? Does it have that unique PO sound? It does not have that unique PO sound. I'll tell you that up front. It does not. It sounds very generic to me. It reminds me of, if you've ever used the OPZ or that one, it's somewhere between the OPZ and the PO. So it's not totally the OPZ. The OPZ at times sound real teeny and bright and whatever, and didn't really have any character to it, in my opinion. But it sounds somewhere between that and the PO. But the PO is special, man. The PO 33, the sound from that thing is just insane. I mean, how good it sounds for a little pocket operator is $100. It's incredible. Bleach. Oh yeah, Bleach track was dope. Yeah, he did a nice one. Yeah, please monitors. Yeah, I will have that sometime tomorrow morning. I'll have not monitors, but just a little portable speaker that I can plug into, which is kind of cool. I had the portable speaker before when I had an MPC, but it was kind of dumb to have it because the MPC already had a speaker that was good enough for what I was using it for. So I ended up using that with the SP404. And then when I got rid of the SP404, I got rid of the speaker because there was no purpose. I didn't really have a use case for it. With the pocket operator, I'm going to try this out. I'm not committed to it yet. Unlike, I know a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, they're going to commit to it. Hey, what's up, Core Master? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm not 100% committed to. I am trying it just to see if I like it. Um, it's got some flavor of the OP1 field in some ways, and then it's got like a little bit of the pocket operator, and then it's got its own little thing. But like I was saying, each one of these sections are different. So A could be your drums, B could be your bass, C could be your chords, or your um, you could even put your samples, I guess, there. And then D could be whatever. You can put your samples, or maybe you have some other one shots you want to use. But this thing is really just good for sampling, making putting drums, bass, and a sample together. I really don't feel like if you're trying to make music, you got to get on a DAW, you got to get on MPC, something like that, that is more tailored towards finishing projects. I feel like with this thing, you would get a nice little beat going, and then you got to record out through the output. That's another thing I wish they would have just made it record through the USB-C. You get a cleaner recording, but because they didn't, you got to record through the output, and that's one of the things that I'm not fond of. Now, with having this mixer face, or if you have a mixer, or if you have a sound card, just get you something to plug directly into the sound card and record your stuff into it. For instance, I just put mine up, but you get something with a 3.5 to a V or a Y, and then plug it into your combo jacks and the inputs and record directly into your computer. But it would be nice, since they put USB-C on here, if they do a firmware update where they add that feature. And who knows, it's TE, they probably will. I imagine they'll consider it if enough people say something about it. Um, if you decide to do the fade enough, I said this earlier, make sure you do that thing slowly. Take your time and go. Mine's fine, but yeah, that thing is real ridiculous. I don't know why they made that so tight like that where you can barely get it on. I thought that was a joke at first, but no, it's serious. Um, let's see what else. Any other questions? Any other questions? Or yeah, smash the like, guys, if you don't mind. It really does help. And again, I don't get paid to do it, so I'm just doing it to help and answer questions or wherever I can answer and show you. Um, Do not buy this thing expecting the mic and the speaker to be good. They are okay. It's probably, I would say the OPZ's mic sounds better. And I would say the pocket operator, the pocket operator mic was not good at all, but it's probably on the level as a pocket operator mic. So if you like that, then you know what you're getting, right? But don't expect much from that. You're definitely going to be using the output. And let's see, what else could I show you? Um, the commit button, I fully don't understand that yet, but I'm hearing that you can commit the track once you get there. I don't understand what they mean by commit, so I'd have to look into that more. The editing of the sound here, I'll show you a couple little things with that. So trying to find, let's go back up here. So here's a sound, shift, edit. So you can pan it. If you want it to kind of go to one side or the other. You can send it. I don't know what to send. I haven't figured that out yet. But then where's the one shot? Oh, there we go. So you got the key. So this is trigger. When I release it, see it goes off. And then there's this envelope here. You can see the emblems. There's an actual thing in the manual that shows you what each emblem means. So this is an envelope. The thing I don't understand is how do you adjust the envelope? But okay, so there's the attack. The release. So you have attack and release on the envelope. And then there's the trim. I don't know why it's jumping to BPM when I was on trim. That confuses me. So that's confusing. Though sometimes I get confused because these symbols be jumping around. But like, okay, so here's you got the send, you got the trim or trigger. This says trig, but it looks, maybe this is the trim. Ah, yes, this is the trim. Okay. Okay. That's what's confusing. So that's your trim. Then you got the envelope. Why does this say TIM? I don't know what this is, to be honest with you. I'll have to look up what that means. But yeah, so that's the ones I know right now. Okay, cool. So you guys get that kind of vibe. The main button is your friend because I just go back to it when I get lost and start from wherever. The effects I kind of showed you a little bit. If you hit shift here, you got your output. There's the drive, so you can increase the drive of it. If you turn it up too loud, obviously you know what you get. It'll distort. And here's the speed button, which right now I just leave it down. But so you probably turn the drive off if you don't want all that extra distortion, right? It's a fun device. I can see it's hard to keep your hands off of it because the way it looks. So hopefully y'all can see all that. But it looks really cool. I mean, like it just really does. I have to give them that. These guys know what they're doing with regards to designing stuff. They are on it. Shift back to get to your bars. In, out. What does this mean? So the umbrella means that you can undo whatever's going on. Whatever your last thing is, you can undo it. I read that, but I don't see and fully get where the undo is on this thing. That part I'm still learning anymore. Oh, there's Echo out here. What's up, Echo? What's up? We're seeing things in portrait. Are you? Well, let me see, because I have the phone turned. Maybe I'll have to work on that on the next one. Yeah, on the portrait we're seeing. Sorry about that. Can you rotate the iPhone for landscape? Let me see. See, I record all my videos, and I think that's what happens is, I probably could, but I'm live, so I'm not sure. I'll probably end up messing up something. I'll try it on the next one. So I'm sorry you guys see it in a portrait. I didn't realize that was happening. Can you pitch samples, then pitch down to get the SP artifact? I would not count on anything getting SP light because this thing is not SP light. You can definitely do this on the OG OP1. Yeah, the OG OP1 had a lot more effects, but remember this: you cannot record the effects onto. You can't resample, okay? So you can't record that into your pattern, and that's one of the. It's more of a performance based tool, and I'm being honest, it's very much a performance based tool. It's not like the SP at all. In fact, there's certain things over there I like better than the SP, but then there's certain things that the SP will always win on. The SP is way more powerful. Let's be honest. Think pocket operator, the first pocket operator, the little stuff you could do with that one, which is pretty cool, but mostly it was just a simple sampler that you could bring stuff in, trim it. You can pitch stuff, by the way. If you're asking can you pitch something, yes. So let's do that. Let's go back to a sample, and then you can put a delay. There's delay, reverb, distortion, chorus. I think that's a filter. And then you got the res. It does not sound anything like an SP in my opinion. This is your compressor. There's the drive. Compressor, okay, filter. Distortion, reverb. So you don't have a reverse. There's delay, reverb, distortion, chorus, filter, compression, and there is a pitch. You can see pitch here, but I can't remember. Let me see. Hold on. Exit out of this. Go back to main. Go back to, I think it was under edit, sound edit. Yeah. So you got the pan. I showed y'all that. The key. Envelope. Oh, that's the timing. So you can slow something down. See that? So this is speed. This is the BPM like to change it. And this is like the bars, I guess. How many bars you're doing it? But it sounds terrible through the speaker. I'll be honest, you can't really, you got to put headphones on or hook up a real set of speakers up to it for it to sound right. Um, so yeah, you can adjust the speed a little bit, but these effects, in my opinion, these effects are not. There's your attack. They're not super great. They're okay. So think pocket operator, bigger, and a few extra things that you can do. Most of the thing I think that's cool about this, I think the pocket operator only had 4 voices that you could have total, whereas this one, I don't remember how many, but you're definitely not stuck to 4 voices, that's for sure. So just so you know, in the sound edit portion of it, I'll tell you exactly which one each one are. You can set it for a one shot, a key, or legato, right? You can trim the sample. That's what the TRI is, which the symbol looks like that. So if you go to TRI, you can look right here. If you can see it, the symbol is definitely that. The envelope is just attacked and release, so that's all you get. And then the timing. So this is a time stretch mode. So you set the BPM, and then you hold sample and tempo, I guess, to bring incoming audio in if you want to stretch it. But you can do like 1 or 2 bars, looks like, to stretch the sample. So that's what this one is right here, is the timing. So you can see this is bars, this is 2 bars. 1 or 2. You only get 1 or 2 as an option. And then you got the speed. So there you have it. It's not much, right? It's very limited. So if you like the pocket operator and you want a little bit better of a pocket operator, that's what you're getting with the KO2. It's it's not anything more than that. And I don't want to sit here and gas you up and get you thinking that it's going to be something better, because it's not. Let's see, MIDI, mute groups. Okay, so you do have mute groups. Each one can have a mute group. So each section here. So just so you know, you do have mute groups. And that is really it. There is the scene selection stuff if you're gonna do it. I personally don't think I will ever build full songs in this thing. I think this thing is better for starting a song and then taking what you start and then going from there. That's pretty much what I would say this is best for. If you have a OP1, yeah, no resampling. That sucks. I'm trying to answer your question. Timing, hi everyone. Timing, hey, hey. I'm just looking through your messages so I can see it because I have to stand up. Going to say here today what we'll get in the future with the thing: audio over USB, resampling, latch effect. Definitely need latch effects and resampling and audio over USB, audio in effects. Man, am I being stupid obsessive about this thing? I think you like it. I mean, it's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I ordered one from GC and it should arrive tomorrow, but they're in stock at GC right now. Should I buy and return when it arrives? Um, yeah, I guess if you really want it that bad, or if you can't wait, you said tomorrow, right? So if you can wait till tomorrow, I would say wait one. I just picked up mine from the Guitar Center just now. Yeah, I did too. It arrived early than expected. Yeah, Donald, I don't. I mean, you're gonna have fun with it. Echo, what do you say? Just being. No, I know, but you know what, Echo? Though you have like the OP1 and the you have other devices. So if you couple this with those devices, you'll be happy. You'll be good. For somebody looking at this as their only device, I would say it's not that you could honestly use your koala with but if you just have to have hardware and you just feel like you need something to press some buttons, then go for it. But you could do more with koala, being honest about it. And the samples are corny to me, but somebody might like them. I mean, you're gonna have to, for now, until this thing grows, you're gonna have to shape your sounds and make everything in some other device, and then bring them into here. Which I haven't even touched that portion of it, where you hook it to your computer and grab your sounds and bring it in. I just tested the microphone to make sure everything was working, so I wouldn't have a defective unit. Um, what do y'all think of this as a first time sampler? Hey, a first time sampler for a 13-year-old? Absolutely. But you know what? 13-year-olds now, Echo, have the koala sampler. I would give them that first as a first time before I would do this. But if they need some hardware, you just want them in that vibe, absolutely. It's a good little piece of hardware. I would give them a PO33 and say, if you can do something with that. Yeah, you want it to be hardware. I got you. Yeah, it makes sense. What up? D0, this TV. Yeah. Is this device for the next J Dilla? I don't know about that, but yeah, it's a cool little device. I mean, the thing looks amazing. I walked away from it, came back, it still looked good. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna change. That's gonna be nice. It's definitely a cool piece of hardware. Um, Perfect design device for a stone's throw artist. Okay. I'll tell you this though, like let's go to a track. Let's go to this bass track. I'm gonna use this bass just because I can hear it through the speaker. All right, so recording, you're on bar one, you hit record and then you set the length, right? So you can do whatever you're gonna do. Let's see how many it'll go. Oh Lord. Okay. So however many you want. This seems to be. All right, so these are your bars that you're gonna set. So I'm gonna just set, let's just do 2. Set the bars, hit play. That's it. Hit record off. And you notice I left it on free. You can put it on quantize if you have trouble with the timing or whatever. It's off. I definitely am off. I can hear myself off in there, but just wanted to show you how easy it is to record. That was just a simple bass line. Now you got to turn the keys off. If you leave play going and you forget, and you're like, yeah, and you start feeling yourself and start tampering around with other stuff, you're going to actually record over what you did. The good thing is there's an undo on this one, so you can erase it by holding erase, and then that particular, these are each considered a track. Now here's something I didn't like was the delete. So this was the sound, right? I used, you hold this down, you got to hold this down till it blinks to delete, and then it should be gone. So it's not hard, but it would be cool if you could just hit erase and then just tap the pad and it just erase it. But maybe there's a reason. I don't know. I'm just telling you my thoughts on it. So you can see, hit record again, 2 bars. If you want to stop it, go ahead and stop it, hit that back, and boom, you're done. So it's just that simple. That's how easy it is to record. Drums, bass, chords, or melody, or whatever you want to call it, and then put your samples on D, and you're done. And then you can, that's how I imagine it. Then if you want to drop something out with the fader, so you're playing it, you want the bass to drop out, hold it down, drop the drums out. Just like that. When I get that speaker, you guys will better hear it better. I'll do another video just kind of showing some basis of it, but it has a sequencer and samples. That's all I need. Yeah, but it's not like the pocket operator sequencer. If you remember, you could punch in, you could set the patterns and then punch in how many times you wanted each pattern to go. I kind of like that on the pocket operator better. But yeah, it does have a sequencer in the sense of you can, each one of these are your tracks. You can sequence stuff. You could copy parts and keep it going, right? So you could do that. That's true. Man, I hear some good magic coming from you. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying it. I'm gonna as soon as I get those batteries where I'm not plugged in and confined to this stupid cable, and then once I get the batteries, I'm gonna hook it to. I'm gonna see. I need to see if this audio interface thing will run out, and then maybe run the speaker out of that to get some clarity on the sound. I don't know. I'm gonna try a few things to see. Press and hold erase like the OP1. You know what? You're right. I forgot the OP1 is like that. You're exactly right, Echo. Press and hold to save patches on the OP1. I guess that's why it's like that here. Yeah. But if you want to, let's say you record in a sample. I'm not going to do it right now, but let's say you record in, I'm going to go here. Let's record a sample here. I'll do something just to, so you hit the sample. You got to hold, I think you hold this down and start talking. You got to turn up the volume on it. There we go. So you can hear, pick up your voice. So you see the meter right there. So sample, I did it earlier. There you go. It's got to hear your voice. All right, so I did it earlier. There you go. It's got to hear your. I did it earlier. There you go. Did it earlier. Did it earlier. There you go. Right. It's got to hear your voice. And it plays all the way through, so you'd have to set it the way you want it. I'm gonna turn the mic off, so get out of sample mode. I'm just gonna go back here. Okay. But to erase that, usually you just do this and hold it down, and then it erase. But it doesn't. So to erase the sound, you got to hold erase and sound. And it's still, sometimes it's still there, see? Did that erase it? Yeah. So you got to hold erase, sound, and then hit the pad that you want to erase just to get rid of that sample. And I'm talking about me just sampling in my voice. Um, Interaction designers like press hold, actual commanders. Yeah, so it is button mashing. It is a combo button thing that you got to do. What's up, Jay? Piece you can chop while playing a drum track, and how long of a sample can you chop? So chop while playing a drum track? No, I don't. I'm not sure I understand that 100%. But no, if something's playing over here, you can't be chopping like that. But you once you sample, so if you sample in something like so let's see, the mic is up now. You got to make sure your mic is up loud, the level. Hold it down, and then it'll start recording, right? Then you hit shift sample. Then you go. So you get that? So you record the sample in, and then you hit shift sample that chops it, right? Then it'll play it one time for whatever reason. I don't know why they do that. But then as you hold the pad down, it'll record it. So it's not like hit, hit, hit. You gotta hold it down, hold it down, hold it down for it to chop. Now, maybe they'll change that. I wish they would change that because I don't like the way it chops. I'd rather it just be hit, right? So my timing is a little bit better versus me trying to hold a pad down for the length I want to chop it. It's kind of weird. But anywho, it is what it is. Um, and then if you want to erase that sample, you got to hold down erase and I think hit this, hit this. They say in the manual, see, it didn't even erase it. So they say in the manual that you can hold down multiple ones. I have not found that to be the case. You got to hold down sound and then delete. See, and it's still not deleting. That's confusing. Erase. See, it's still there. And that's what's confusing me is little stuff like this, like the simple stuff to erase. Okay, so now it's gone. Okay, so okay, blank. Nope, see, it didn't blink. See, it's still there. See, so sometimes it's erasing, sometimes it's not. Sound, maybe sound erase and hold it down. Nope. The Okay, now it did it. So it's weird. So it's like combination of sound erase, then hit the track. Nope. See, it did. So weird. Delete. No. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all catching that. Broken grip. Heard if we sample a higher pitch, then repitch. Now that works. You get longer than 20 seconds. Yes. That's like it is the OG way of sampling on limited devices. I mean, you can edit your chops while the drum sequence is playing. Okay, yeah, you probably could do that. I haven't really tried that portion, but because usually I'm not doing it while it's playing. Hey, James, this thing is dope. What do you say? I'll be monked out on this for at least a week. Yeah, for sure. What's your IG? I don't use my personal IG for music. It's mostly just my family stuff, so I don't really put it on there for things because I don't do a lot of Instagram. I'm mostly gonna be on YouTube anyway. I don't do a lot of Instagram posts for this, but not for music. In fact, I'm just demoing this one to see how much I see if I like it. Right now, my erase combination stuff is driving me nuts because I can't get it to erase. guys. Hopefully that didn't mess up anything. Man, just to erase something, like seriously, erase. Nope. I'm serious, guys. This is one of the things I don't like already. I don't know, like, is it like perfect timing I need to be able to erase something? Why does it do this? All right. Maybe I have to. Nope. Now it worked. I don't understand that. It's confusing on how to just simply erase. It's supposed to be erase sound and then the pad. And then like if you want to erase the sequence that you did, then you hold down erase and you hit here and you hold this down. And that works fine. But for some reason when I'm just trying to erase down a sound that I actually brought in, it doesn't do a good job on that. That's where for me it's kind of lacking in that way. Let me see. Um Yeah, so I think these things will be things that'll work out. Kinks they'll get worked out. I'm sure they got a good team that looks into this and sees what's going on. They may watch videos, who knows? But I would like that to be fixed. The other thing is, I was showing people earlier. It's for those that just came in. Let's see. So here's a hat with the whole right. But let's say you really want to be able to. It's not the most fluid way to do it. So if they can make latching work for the timing that you latch it, like hold it for a lengthy time or something, and it latches when you're in the timing. Okay, it is latch right there. Oh, maybe it does work. Okay, never mind. Unless that's a glitch. Oh, maybe it works. Okay, so let's see. Turn on. Let's go back to the main one. Turn on this one. Nope. Hold it. Oh, I see how it works. Okay, so this is new to me, right? So if you hold timing, it latches. So anybody that loves the ratchet hi hats and all that kind of stuff, you're gonna love that. That's super easy. I will not complain about that anymore. There's one less complaint. So hold timing, press the button as once it starts, then you can start moving and you have freedom to move. That's cool. I'm super happy that works. That's one more plus. Very nice. Any other questions? I got stuck for a bit this morning trying to sample and edit and not used to the shifts. So James, you have yours already? Edit. Also not used to the shifts and where I am at any given time, but I'm gonna push through and get the muscle memory. Yeah, the muscle memory is real. That it's the same thing with any of those machines. If you got an MPC machine, I know the Roland is definitely like that. I had to, whew, man, it took me like 6 months. I feel like before I had it down on muscle memory. So yeah, that's the truth. How do the buttons feel? So you're talking about? Oh, you talking about just the pads here, or these little click? They feel just like a keyboard. So think about because I echo you have the MacBook, I believe. So think about a MacBook, or think about one of those typewriters. What do they call those? Mechanical typewriters, I think they are, or mechanical keyboards rather. That's what it's called. If you want to compare it to Digitech, I yeah, probably. Yeah, you probably could. Like Digitag, Electron type buttons. Because I've used those before. I actually had the Digitag at one time when it first came out. And I didn't really know what in the world I was doing with that thing. But yeah, it's very much like that. It very much is. And to be honest with you, I'm going to use the keyboard. I'm going to use the MIDI controller keyboard. I wish I had a smaller one just because it would be better for the desk. But you get the velocity sensitivity without having to deal with this, because this is not. In fact, this little track I did here, besides the hi-hat, is all done right here. So I did it all on the keyboard first. And I'm just used to that way because I do that in Ableton also. I drum off the keyboard. So I know the 33 very well. EP buttons feel very nice. Silky, not clicky, as I thought they would. You know what? Not as clicky as they could be, but they have a little clickiness to them. Just they're not like overboard. But it's not, if you're used to like a SP or you're coming off of something like that, or the MPC, obviously this is not going to feel good to you. You wouldn't like it if that's your main tool. Have you tried the Velocity? Yes, I did try it. It's okay. It reminds me of the OP1 field velocity pressure. Let's see, how did I get to it? I went to system. I think I went to system here. That's MIDI. That's your sync. That's the pad. Was it the pad I used? Yeah, velocity. And then you turn it, enter there. Oh, by the way, you hit enter to go into those menus, if you're wondering. And see, it's on right now. I had it on low. You can turn it on high. And then I just hit menu to get out of it, or main to get out of it. But you guys see that? Hit shift. For those that don't have it, shift, hit the erase button, go to where you want to go. So here's the MIDI. So if you wanted to go in MIDI, you can turn your clock on, etc. The problem is I don't know how to go back. So I guess you'd have to go back here. Once you get in a system, I don't know how to go back. Pad, hit enter, velocity, enter, and then pick your velocity you want. There's high. Nope, that isn't how you go back. So yeah, I don't know how to go backwards on that menu. I would just hit shift and erase again. There may be a way. Back to the main menu. So yeah, that's how you turn that on. And you can see the velocity sucks. I'm being honest. Watch the thing over here. Even when I'm hitting it, it's not good. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but it doesn't feel too good. Is there no? That's Jay. No, there isn't. Is there audio over USB-C? No. And I have not used the software that it comes with. You have to download it. I think it's a web-based software, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a web-based software. It would be cool if they put it on like an app for iPhone or something like that, or even on Android, where you could kind of just use your phone to do it. But I don't know if they're gonna do that. James, what do you say? Does it for sure do MIDI over USB? Does it do MIDI over USB? Let me try it for you, James. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I can't because until I get I'll try that on another video. Check it for you, James. I'll let you know on an updated video, because I don't have the AAA. I had to order some, so I'm running off of you. If you can see right here, I hope you can see right here. There's a USB. I have a USB powering this, so I'm not powering it through via batteries. Otherwise, I would try that for you. Let's see. But I think it does. If I read the manual and I believe it does. I believe you can use a MIDI over USB, which is kind of cool, right? If you don't have the 5 pin or 5 DIN or whatever it is, and you don't want to deal with this, you could just use it over the USB. Um, I wonder if anyone will make a soft pad mod. That'd be interesting. But I don't know what the soft pad mod would do, because if you've ever used the OP1 field, or even if you've used the PO33 with those cases that they have, it never really affected the velocity on those, obviously, because it didn't even have it. But even with this one, the velocity is not really, it's so sporadic. It doesn't, I'm hitting it soft. I mean, I don't know how soft you'd have to hit it. Let me go back into the pad, hit enter, enter. I'm gonna put it on low, right? And then we'll exit out of there. It's kind of all over the place. It doesn't really seem like there's a rhyme or reason to it. Um, I answered your question. Does it do MIDI over USB? It says in the menu book, or in the menu book. What am I talking about? It says in the manual that it does, and I'll do that. I'll try it out. Browser based. Yeah, it's browser based. Jay. Yeah, that's kind of. Uh, I mean, it's good, but that means you have to have internet wherever you're at to use it. So let's say you have some samples on your phone or samples somewhere else, you're gonna have to sample that directly into the KO, because you can't. Maybe you don't have the internet somewhere, and yeah. I mean, we do have internet almost everywhere, though. Oh, okay. Take care, Echo. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna try to do more live videos when it's stuff like this where you can answer people's questions, because it's a little bit easier. Um, yep. Catch you on the flip side for sure. James, I'll always do 100 velocity and change volume through automation anyway, since coming from the PO33. I even do 100 on Koala and edit after. Yeah, I don't, but it depends on what you're doing. I guess drums, maybe you could do that. For me, I'm trying to play most of my stuff into it. So I on the PO33, I had no choice, right? Because there wasn't an option of that. I think you could adjust the volume, but yeah, I don't know. When it comes to velocity, it depends on if you need it. I don't like doing that in Koala at all. It takes forever for me to do that in Koala. It's very tedious, and I'm kind of person where if I'm gonna play a song, I want to play it one time through and get that best take I can get. I don't really, especially with audio. Even when I'm in Ableton, I try to play everything one time through. Like if I'm doing a solo or something for a song, I'll play the solo on the keys. I'll just play it one time. And whatever that take is what it is. If there's one note that's really bad, I might adjust it, but rarely. Because I like everything to sound as live and as spontaneous or imperfect as I can possibly be, which I'm very much that guy. So, but anyway, so free is on. You can put the quantize on. I would only use quantize maybe for the hats. I mean, for the snares rather, maybe. But everything else, I pretty much like it to be. I wish they would put a step sequencer in it, but I realized they didn't put enough buttons to do that. But it would have been cool to have a step sequencer in this thing. Um, to me, the way it's set up right now, you got to just play this stuff. It's not hard to do, but I'm just saying it would be nice to have a step sequencer. You know what would be cool is if you have the OPZ. I don't have it, but if you have it and you could hook it to this via the sync and the MIDI, and then see if you could like control it with the OPZ. So then you could I don't know, you could program if that's what you really want to do. But I'll be honest, the recording in this thing is so easy. If you got it, you know what I'm talking about. I think who said they had it? Was it James? Yeah, I think James, you said you had it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the recording is so easy. But anyway, I'm gonna get off. I've been on this thing for a minute. This is a long one. I did not plan on doing it this long, but I did want to answer as many questions as possible. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Hit the like if you can. Um, and I will do another video as I learn more stuff. I'll try to bring more to the table and show you what I've learned. And if you know some things, yeah, definitely show me. James, let's see, velocity definitely not a deal breaker. I respect that too. I use a sequencer for koala. Yeah, you could always record into koala too. By the way, I'm gonna run it back then for sure. Yeah, James. But you can record this into koala if you want. Use it as a like your iPhone or whatever you have. Um, you can only use Brave or Chrome. Yeah, see that's why I don't like those things too. I do use Brave. I don't use Chrome for software. I think I'm gonna get one that reminds me of the Zoom's sample track, but a 2023 version. Yeah, catch you later, Jane. Jay, appreciate you stopping by, and we'll do more videos as time goes. Who knows? They probably give us an update soon too. Sometimes they'll do that, drop it, and then after they sell so many or whatever, they might drop an update, and then more people are gonna buy. They did that with the OP1 a few times, so we'll see. All right, catch everyone later. Appreciate you stopping by, and I'm out. As soon as I figure out how to stop it, yeah. Why is my dog in the background doing that?